Hello everyone and welcome to Claret and Booze. My name's Nick. This is a daily ramble. Right, I'm going to try and make this as quick as I can because I'm busy and I've got to get loads of stuff done. But I'm going to give you an update on all things Brobbey, Gomez, Banzi, Andre Silva, Todibo, and whatever other guff there is out there at the minute. But there is going to be some interesting bits in this as well. As always, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe, as many of you have. Hit the bell notification button and don't forget to drop a like on the video. It does really help us. Okay, we'll start with Todibo. So Todibo, this one's confusing because I think X has reported something similar as well. We've done enough to trigger the obligation to buy because we haven't paid for this player yet. It's about 35 million, I think. We ain't paid for him yet. If we get relegated, we won't have to. That'll void the deal, but we ain't going to get relegated. So I suppose what they could do is pay for him and then sell him. They could do that. I suppose it's Juventus that are rumoured to be interested in him as they were in the summer, but there's concerns around his behaviour, with Lopetegui. And as we've learned, when he's been at this club, he's got a history of that as well. Plus, there's these lifelong injury concerns. So I'll be amazed if we can get that deal done. I'm sure we would sell him. I like the player, but I'm sure that they'll sell him if they can. And then what that would mean is we would go back out and get another defender. Well, we'd have to in this window, but. So we'll see. That's not one that I really, really know about, I'll be honest. So I won't pretend that I do. I'm going to make my phone's ringing again. Oh, Dave. Yes, mate, honestly, no, I'm not saying that. No, I'm recording a video now, Dave. No, I've already said to you. Stop phoning me. I'm not. No, don't get Barry to call me. No, I'm not doing it. Because it's bollocks. All right? Yeah, get the other lot to do it. I'm not doing it. See you later. Bye. Right, okay. So, moving on to Banzi. The Banzi deal broke on Sky Sports as well. I don't know who's fucking leading them up the garden path. But there's been no bid placed for this player in the last 2 weeks. We lowballed it. They said no. It's a player that we are interested in, and it's being headed up by, apparently, Karen Brady. Again, this is not Sports X. This is coming from the other side. He's apparently a decent player. But from what I'm being told, he isn't ready for the Premier League yet, but would definitely be worth buying for the money that is reported, 10 to 12 million. But again, is it what we need now? We need people that are going to come in to the first team and make a difference now before we go out and start buying prospects, which is why people moan about Guilherme. They all moan about Guilherme. He's not ready yet, but then they're kind of back in this deal. I don't get it. So ideally, this is a type of player, profile of player we want to be buying when we've got an all singing, all dancing first team. But we need players that are going to come in, make an impact now. Will it happen? That one, I don't know. I don't think so. Andre Silva, always said it was crap. In fact, not on here, I've just refused to report it. Seen it everywhere. Andre Silva, 29-year-old, injury-prone crock who's just forgotten how to score. Plays for RB Leipzig, has been linked with West Ham because he's a Silkman Salthouse player. Yeah. And how this works is they'll phone Dave Sullivan up and say, I've got a player for you. And then that's it. That player's linked. It's as simple as that. And then they'll go and tell everyone else who then reports it for the entire window that we're linked and we're looking at Andre Silva. From what I've heard, it's not going to happen. It was never going to happen. They're fully aware of the injury problems and that was not going to happen. So I did the right thing in not reporting that. Trusted me gut. And everyone else, has said the same thing. It was never going to happen. So all these stories that have been breaking have not been true. And the other one is Brian Brobbey. So Brian Brobbey, it's been released today that Maximilian Hahn identified Brobbey. So again, hello Barry. No, look Barry. I've spoken to him. I've told him not. No, I don't want to. No, I'm not doing it, mate. No, because you're talking bollocks. Yes, you are. All right. Okay. Yeah. No. Oh, fuck off. Right, so, So, basically, Maximilian Hahn scouted this player. This is West Ham. Basically, this player was brought in by SportsX, okay? On Monday, after the Duran deal was destroyed by West Ham, because they actually thought they had a chance of getting him at a low ball fee. And once it was basically booted out, they was like, oh, shit, we need to focus somewhere else. So, Brobbey was brought to them. Yes, let's get it done. By SportsX, right? Now, what Maximilian Hahn does, which is good, it's a due diligence exercise, which we never used to have. So players get brought to David Sullivan, as they always have. Luckily, now, from better sources than he's normally used, the legacy sources, you know, Silkman, Salthouse, Tony Emery, you know, Zahavi, Mendes, all those people that have stiffed him up so many times. He's now at least listening to better people, which is good. And what happens is, whereas before we would have just gone and bought that player, now we've got at least someone like Maximilian Hahn who will sense check the deal and go, yes, that player will fit, he's good, I like him. And that Carl was going to be added to that list as well. I'm a bit concerned that Maximilian Hahn's name has been put against this, though, because that feels like a fire blanket, because now Tim's obviously going to be going, who's been blamed for everything at West Ham. He is responsible for some, but not even half the shit he's being blamed for. So they've got this fire blanket problem, you know, because Sullivan's doing the deals now, so he needs protection in case anything goes wrong. Hahn, he found that player. We're going to go out and buy him. That's what makes me think even more this deal is going to get done. And also they want to portray to the media that they've got this inbuilt scouting team, that West Ham identify talent. We don't. Sullivan is looking for a used car, and he is a salesman's dream. And all of these different agents have got their car lots, and Sullivan goes round them. But what he's got now in Maximilian Hahn and their car was he's got a trusty mechanic with him who can basically have a little look, kick the tyres and have a little look at the engine before we actually buy him, which is good. We haven't got an internal scouting network. We don't work from the inside out. We work from the outside in. People just throw in players at us. So at least now, hopefully, with the addition of Carl and us retaining Maximilian Hahn until he's thrown under the bus for one of the signings that don't work, we've got a bit of a due diligence piece in there as well. So Brobbey, it's progressing. I wouldn't even say it's close, but it's progressing. So good news when you consider my tantrum last night. The player does still want to come. He did play last night for Ajax. It's unsurprising that he didn't play well, because he ain't going to. He wants to move. He wanted to move in the summer. Didn't get his move. Wants to move now. Ajax have not been the same team for a while. They've sold Anthony, Kudus. They've Alvarez. Got rid of all their best players. Brobbey wants to move on. Multiple bids from different clubs, including Nottingham Forest of 40 million, were turned down for that player in the summer. He wants to come to the Premier League. Ajax have decided it's time to cash in. It's not a loan. It's a buy now, pay later. It's 6 months with an obligation to buy at the end of it, because we can't breach PSR rules this season, as I've said in previous videos. So if we get Brobbey in, he's our player, just like Todibo. Well, that's a bad example, actually, because we could be getting rid of him. But that's what it is. So it's a loan because we can't buy him now, basically. It's not a try before you buy. It's a Littlewoods payment plan. So, yes, that's where we are with Brobbey. There are two midfielders that we're looking at that I can't talk about at the moment. It would only be one of them, but they've not been mentioned elsewhere at the moment. And Gomez deal is still where it was. The mystery team that everyone's talking about is a team that I mentioned when I first spoke about him. That is Fulham. They've long been talking to Gomez. A long time they've been talking to him for 6 months. He ain't signed though, is he? If he was going there, he'd have signed. He ain't going there. It's nonsense. I reckon, I'm very confident Gomez will be a West Ham player, and we'll see. We'll see who is right and we'll see who is wrong. All right? But I'm confident that Gomez will be a West Ham player. The mystery player, I still cannot unveil. I will unveil it if it collapses. But at the moment, it hasn't. It's still going, which is good. So you'll either get good news, probably not from me, from Pletterberg, and I'll just play one of my videos again. Or I will get the opportunity to break it, or it will collapse and I'll tell you who it is. So either way, you're going to know who it is, all right? But I don't want to be party to or blamed by anyone for leaking news that's led to it collapsing, because that's what I'm blaming everyone else for as well. So I'm not going to do that anyway, because it's the most important thing is that the players come in. So yes, that's where we are. Yeah, the same old crap being peddled out by people. It's hilarious, because there's so many people on this side now that are in the loop on this, and they can't believe what actually happens versus what some people report. It's brilliant. Honestly, it's so funny. But it's all part of the game at West Ham. Speak to you all soon. Come on, you irons. I'm going to phone Dave back. No, I'm not. He talks bollocks.